In the end we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow is our doubts of today. Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans. Do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there is no path and leave a trail. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. The best revenge is massive success. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. I would rather die of passion than boredom. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. The only impossible journey is the one you never begin. Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Success usually comes to those who are too busy to be looking for it. The secret of success is to do the common thing uncommonly well. Don't judge each day by the harvest you reap, but by the seeds that you plant. Believe you can and you're halfway there. Opportunities don't happen, you create them. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. It is never too late to be what you might have been. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals. Dream big and dare to fail. I find that the harder I work, the more luck I seem to have. A person who never made a mistake never try anything new. What we achieve inwardly will change outer reality. Your present circumstances don't determine where you can go, they merely determine where you start. It always seems impossible until it's done. To succeed in life, you need two things: ignorance and confidence. The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Success is not how high you have climbed, but how you make a positive difference to the world. Happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Don't watch the clock. Do what it does. Keep going. You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated. If you can dream it, you can do it. It's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up. The best way to predict the future is to invent it. You are enough just as you are. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Hardships often prepare ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny. To handle yourself, use your head. To handle others, use your heart. The power of imagination makes us infinite. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Do what you can with what you have where you are. You have within you right now everything you need to deal with whatever the world can throw at you. Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. Thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content. Comment below on how change has positively impacted your life. Until next time, keep striving for perfection.